I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom on Tuesday. Let's talk about it. Also, I apologize for having a fan in the background. You can't even see it, but I have a fan going on in my room because it's stupidly hot where I live. Anyways, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It was way worse than the first one, and the first one wasn't even great. It was just... The first one was a fine movie. This one was just... It was mediocre, at best. Which, if you're one of my friends, which I know you're not, because none of you are watching, but if you are, like, hello. It was not a great movie. It was a mediocre movie at best. And if you know mediocre movies, then it's almost worse than it being a hilariously bad movie, because if it's a hilariously bad movie, then you can watch it with friends and you can enjoy making fun of it. Or if it's a good movie, then you can enjoy, you know, just the cinematography or the you know, the acting, the whatever, the story, whatever. Whatever makes it a good movie, you can enjoy it. But otherwise, you just if it doesn't have either of those, if it's not hilariously bad and if it's not a great movie, then then you're stuck with this piece of, I guess you could call it movie, but it's really just, it's not great, and I don't know, I don't know how to explain Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom to you. It's not a great movie, in any sense of the word. Like, the movie does two things really good. The acting, on some accounts, was pretty great, and the CGI was pretty good. So the CGI, in and of itself, was decent. It was good. It was good CGI for what they were trying to accomplish. They were trying to accomplish realistic-looking dinosaurs, and, you know, just getting that out there. And they did that. The dinosaurs looked amazing. But it's bad in a movie when I care more about a dinosaur that was on screen for 20 seconds while it was dying than I care about any character in the movie. I really cared nothing for any of the characters that were in this movie. I mean, like, Owen and Claire and Maisie was her name? I don't even know. I'm sorry. But she had such a weird name. I think it was Maisie. But anyways, I cared nothing for their characters. Obviously, I cared about Owen because it's Chris Pratt, and I love Chris Pratt. But that's it. Like, I cared about the actor. I didn't care about the character whatsoever. The characters were just, they had no development. It was not great, and I just got a notification. I apologize. But it's just, it was so, the characters just had nothing going for them. Like, it was, they tried to do something like Infinity War, where you have 10 years of experience with these characters, and you didn't really need the character development. If you're as into these movies as most people going to see this movie are, then you're gonna at least know these characters' arcs. Like Tony Stark, when he started out as he said, genius billionaire playboy philanthropist, and then moves up to this guy that's willing to sacrifice himself to save half the universe. But in this movie, they tried to pull that off. They tried to pull off 10 years of character development when they only had one movie before this. One movie to establish 10 years. And it's only 3 years difference between it. And it didn't work. I didn't care about the characters whatsoever. When the villain died, or I guess the villain, I was like, good. Because I didn't care about him. One less character for me to try to at least give the benefit of the doubt and kind of maybe worry about a little bit. And I mean, it was this movie was so mediocre and so bland and so boring that they had something super simple, and I thought it could be a good movie. The dinosaurs are gonna, they're gonna go extinct. Should we protect them like we protect all endangered animals? And if we are, we need to get them off the island. And they had to get, like, that's what they tried to do. They tried to get the dinosaurs off the island. That took half an hour. Half of a freaking hour from a movie called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom had the kingdom falling for half an hour in a 2-hour movie. And it didn't work. They needed to have the entire movie, or most of the movie, they needed to have most of the movie set on the island trying to get the dinosaurs off. And yes, maybe there's not 2 hours worth of material there. Then don't make it a 2-hour movie. If you don't think you can expand that, have a different idea. Maybe something that adds to the Fallen Kingdom aspect of the movie. But don't have it be, get the dinosaurs off the island. Cool, did that. Now we have to sell off the dinosaurs. When did that happen? We didn't have an inkling that was going to happen ever. It was just, they tried to... I got so done with this movie within the first 20 minutes when they tried to develop why the dinosaurs were leaving. And sure, and from the minute that the guy walked on, like the, Mills? Something? I think his name was Mills, Eli something, I don't know. But Mills, that's what I'm gonna call him. Mills, I knew from the minute that he walked on he was gonna be the villain. Like, it was so clear, and it was so obvious that he was gonna be the villain, and it was just... It was such a generic villain. Like, if I'm being honest here, he was so generic, and so was the other guy, and it was just like, they had the betrayal, which, cool, I guess, that you can get, it was just, like, if you can, it wasn't great. Like, none of the characters made me feel anything for them. I actually was rooting for them to die on the island instead of that dinosaur. But, I mean, I guess not, and, I mean, cool. Nathan, right? Yeah, I don't know. Nathan, the Justice Smith, was cool, I guess. So was the Zia chick. I don't know their names, but they were both cool, I guess. Just go with it. Like, this movie, it was better to just walk into it and not expect anything. Have the other movies out of your mind. Just don't expect anything from this movie. Oh wait, you can't do that because they're tying into the original 3 movies that I didn't even watch. And I knew that they were tying into them because of YouTube. I knew that they were tying in because they had the Hammond, I think his name was, Richard Hammond, something. I don't know. I don't care. But they were tying into the original Jurassic World movie, or Jurassic Park movies. And I was like, the general audience that didn't see those movies is gonna have no freaking idea who that is. You have to tell us who he is, what he did, why is he important, why are we talking about him? And then, like, apparently the grandpa dude, the Maisie's grandpa, worked with him? And, like, cool? Was he in those movies? I didn't know Hammond was in those movies, but I guess YouTube is helpful. So, I mean, I did know he was in those movies, so it was just, it was so unbelievable. You had to watch those movies. Like, you had to watch at least one of them so you could understand the concept of what was going to happen. But it was just, I don't know. It was, this movie, the story, the plot is so generic and so boring that you just, I did leave. I was so tempted to leave. And I did. I left for like 15 minutes just to, just get rid of the cringe and the bad. And it was just so awful. Like, it was the third act. Like, I thought it would get better. And it just got beyond awful. It was so bad. Like, cool. The first act, they're trying to get these dinosaurs off of the island. Act 2, they're trying to get to the mainland. Act 3, oh, he's a bad guy, and so is Toby Jones. Cool, we knew Toby Jones was gonna be bad, but I mean, what? What? Why is Mills bad now? What was his motivation? He wanted money, and then they had the Indoraptor, and they were like, they were selling all of the dinosaurs instead of getting them to the sanctuary. And of course, that's bad, because dinosaurs, even though in the last movie, dinosaurs were murdering innocent civilians that just came to Jurassic World because they wanted to see some freaking dinosaurs. And it's just, it was so unbelievable. Like, I walked, and it was just, I was sitting there was thinking, and I said out loud to my friends that were sitting next to me, I was like, this is a Jurassic World movie? This is a Jurassic Park movie? That's part of this franchise? When did that happen? Like, I've never watched the original 3 movies. I only saw Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Both of them were mistakes. But it's just, it took so long to get, like, it's just, it doesn't work. And I don't know why I started that sentence. I'm just not going to finish it. But the original 3, I've heard, were pretty good. 3 was not good, but I've heard the original one was pretty good. And the second one was probably decent. I don't really care. But it's just, when a sequel is so bad that it makes me not want to watch the prequels that came before it, you know that you screwed up. I'm okay with a lot of movies, like some decent movies. Like, I'm okay with Batman vs. Superman, the first half at least. I'm okay with, Man of Steel, which a lot of people didn't like. It's a lot of movies that are not the greatest in the public eye, I find to be at least borderline watchable. Like, I can at least tolerate going through them. Do they have much rewatch value? No, not really, but I mean, I'll watch it, and I'll be like, alright, cool, that I might buy on DVD, and I might watch it again, just once, because that's really all you need, unless it's an amazing movie like, say, Captain America Winter Soldier. But, like, this movie was so bad, and when it comes on Netflix, because it's inevitable, like, it's gonna come on Netflix at some point, I'm just gonna, cool, Netflix, don't make me watch this. Get it out of everything. If Netflix were like a service like Instagram where you can block things, I would block this movie. Just because it's so boring and it doesn't work. They tried to have too many things and it just didn't work. They had, like, the movie was focusing on Owen and Claire. And, cool. That's fine. We know them from the last movie. They're decent characters. They don't have much development in this movie, but whatever. It's fine. And then you go, and it's the third act, and then all of a sudden the little girl, she's a protagonist now. Why? Oh wait, I know why. Because it's set in her freaking house. And then the bad guy, the Mills, he's trying to be like, no, she's my kid. Like, because her grandpa died? Like, oh, this is spoilers, by the way. She's my kid because her grandpa died, and I'm taking custody of her. There was no paperwork. I don't know if you need paperwork, but I mean... And then Owen and Claire were like, okay, sure, buddy. Yeah, no, she's our kid. And, like, I guess that Owen and Claire are dating again, and then they just have a kid now? Why? Like, put her up for adoption. You don't need to take care of this child. She's not your responsibility. Like, you didn't raise her. Why are you gonna take her now? Just put her up for adoption, and then she can go find a nice out-of-state family to live in, and just share all her PTSD from her grandpa dying, and her uncle, brother, whatever he is. I don't even know their relationship. Her dad, whatever he is. And it's... So, I guess the movie took place in her house, so she's the main character now. Great. So is the bad guy. Great. Why? This movie just... It was not a desirable movie. If you asked me, hey, should I go watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? I'm gonna tell you no! Go watch Solo: A Star Wars Story over it! I didn't even watch Solo: A Star Wars Story, but I wanted to. None of my friends were on board. They were like, no, I've never seen Star Wars, so we're gonna go watch Jurassic World. That was a huge mistake. One of my friends was like, alright, cool. Let's not watch Jurassic World. It's gonna suck. Man, I wish we listened to him. That was such a boring movie and such a waste of 2 hours of my life that I didn't even pay for. I borrowed money from my parents. I was like, yo, can I get $20 to go spend at the movies with my friends? And they were like, yeah, sure, take it. And then I went to go see the movie, and I felt bad coming home. I literally felt shame and guilt because I felt like I stole money from my parents to go watch a bad movie. And it was so bad. Like, I did not enjoy being in that theater at all. Halfway through the movie, I turned to my friend that didn't want to watch the movie, and I was like, you were right, we should have just not watched this movie. And he was leaning towards watching Deadpool 2, because Deadpool 2 is rated 14A in my movie theater, like, in my province, because I live in Canada, not USA. I live in Canada, and I have provinces, and it's 14A. And he was like, let's go watch Deadpool 2. And then my one friend was like, no, my parents would kill me. And I was like, yeah, like, my parents would not be happy. And, like, I mean, like, they'd probably, like, get mad, but eventually they'd be fine with it. So it's just, and then we didn't end up watching that because my one friend, he does not look 14. We didn't have any photo or, like, physical ID on us. So we were like, alright, cool. Let's go watch Jurassic World. Let's go do that. And it was not an enjoyable time. Don't watch this movie. It was, I don't know, but, okay, I will admit, though, when I'm getting this mad at a movie that I saw once in theaters, and I'm not wasting money to go see it again, but when I'm talking about this movie, I have to appreciate that they made me terrified, like, beyond belief terrified of the Indoraptor, which was, like, a mixture of the Indominus Rex, which they had to use DNA that they dug up from the ocean, which also, sidetrack, that opening scene was so long and boring, and it did nothing for the rest of the movie except give us, like, Indominus Rex tooth. Cool. You could have cut that out. Been like, yo, we got DNA from the Indominus Rex, from the blood that we scraped up from the pavement when he fought the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Cool. They could have just done that, but nope, they had to have a whole scene right at the beginning of the movie. The beginning scene in a movie is supposed to draw you in to that movie. Take Age of Ultron, for instance, where they had all of the Avengers fighting in Sokovia, trying to draw you into the movie. That did a great job. I loved Age of Ultron. Take the original Avengers, for example. They had the SHIELD base blow up right at the beginning of the movie. Cool. That works. It draws me in. This did not draw me in. This deterred me from the movie. It was like, don't watch this movie. Get out. Save yourself now. Go get your money back. It didn't... But it was... Also, another sidetrack. They had a scene where they had to get DNA from the Tyrannosaurus so that they could do a blood transfusion for a raptor. And it was Owen and Claire, and they went to go get the blood from the Indominus, or not the Indominus, the T-Rex, and then it was so overlong and unfunny, and it was just not, it went way too long. It was so, no, it was like, they could have cut that out, and I would have been fine with it, because it would have been like, yo, yeah, we went and got it, and I mean, like, maybe give a little bit, but that scene was like 7 minutes, like 5 or 7 minutes, I don't know, I don't care. It was way too long to be a good scene. Anyways, back on topic. The Indoraptor was terrifying. I've been talking about this movie for 18 minutes. Cool. The Indoraptor was terrifying. Like, I thought when we were in the theater, oh crap, he's gonna come get me next. Like, I thought the Indoraptor, and we saw it in 3D, which was also a waste of money, but the Indoraptor, I thought he was gonna jump out of the screen and come just, like, attack me. And they did a good job building suspense a little bit for when the bad guy, I can't even remember his name, like the original one that betrayed Owen, but he got his arm cut off, or bit off, because he was trying to grab a tooth from the Indoraptor, and I was like, holy crap, that was freaking brutal as hell. Like, that was so, it drew me in. Like, if I'm being honest, like, it was biting down on his arm, and then he was just up there screaming. And I was like, holy crap. Like, this is beyond terrifying. Like, that was, and then it clenches down its teeth, and then the arm just falls, and I was like, oh. And he was still alive, and I was like, holy crap. Like, whoa. Like, and it didn't even let him just bleed out there, like, which would have been insanely brutal. It just ate him alive. And then Toby Jones runs to the elevator, and there's like 4 other people just hiding there, and they're like, shh, it knows we're here. And he was like, no, it's fine, guys, and he hits the elevator button, and then the thing is like, oh, hello, I have lunch now. And then it just came, and it was like, it almost closed, like, the elevator doors closed, and then the Indoraptor was like, oh, hello. So it cut off the thing that, like, closed the doors, like it was the elevator control thing, and it cut that off. And I turned to my other friend on the other side of me, and I was like, holy frick, that thing is smart. Like, that thing is, like, it was genuinely smart. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. That's a little terrifying. Because you saw it cut open the thing, and it went into the elevator, and it just murdered everyone. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I was just shouting brutal for like 5 minutes when it was doing that. I was like, oh crap, that is freaking brutal. Like, it was so great the way they made it terrify you. But that was like one of the only good things. Chris Pratt was great. Those were the two things that were good about this movie. The Indoraptor terrifying me, and the Chris Pratt. That's all I enjoyed. In a 2-hour movie, I shouldn't enjoy a dinosaur that was in it for maybe 20 minutes and Chris Pratt. Because I love Chris Pratt. He's a great person. But I shouldn't just enjoy him. I should have enjoyed everyone. It should have had a good villain. But nope, he was just driven by money. And I was like, cool. I want money, but I'm not going to sell dinosaurs to do it. That's animal trafficking. That was literally the plot of this movie. Get dinosaurs off island, get them to mainland, sell dinosaurs. That was their plan. And they needed Owen to do it. It's like they had to drag Chris Pratt into this. I feel bad for him. Because this movie was not his... It wasn't his best work. Like, he was amazing in the movie, but the movie itself is not great. So it's not a work of art, and it's not his best work that he's been in. So it was just, and they had to get him in there to save the raptor, the one raptor that was left. It was like blue, and then they had to save her. And he's like, nope, I'm just gonna sit here and drink my beer. It's Coke, by the way, I'm underage. And just play some pool. But and then he was like, alright, I'm gonna watch some of my old footage. Cool. You do you, man. But then he was like, alright, cool, let's do it. And then he went to the island, and he got ultimately betrayed. Great. They did Chris Pratt dirty in this movie. It wasn't great. This movie in itself was not great. The writing of it was not great. And then most of the movie took place in the one Lego set that looks like the X Mansion. It was like the Lockwood Estate. Lockwood, yeah, Lockwood Estate. It took place most of it there. But it was not like it was not all of it felt like it was the same house. Like how did she go her whole life living in that house, not knowing that there was dinosaur trafficking going on in the basement, the -3 floor? And also, how is it possible to have 3 basements? Like, it was like L, because the main lobby, like the main floor, and then the -1, -2, -3. Why do they have 3 basements? You don't need 3 basements. Like, you could have done it in a different building, she wouldn't have found it, and your whole plan could have gone great. But, like, it didn't work. This movie didn't work on numerous levels. I've already been ranting to you about this. I wouldn't even call this a review at this point. I'd call it a rant, because I did not enjoy this movie at all. I ranted about this movie for like 24 minutes at this point, but I'm gonna stop because I think my family is getting a little concerned that I'm in my room shouting at my phone. But yeah. So, I think that's it, guys. I did not enjoy this movie. Don't spend your money on it. Maybe when it comes to Netflix, if you enjoyed the other 4 movies, you can watch it. But just don't watch this movie in theaters. Just don't. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. But I think that's it, guys. Ant-Man and the Wasp Showcase went up, I think, yesterday. And don't really expect a lot of videos coming up for the next little while, because I've been having some struggles with my laptop that I'm using to edit and upload, because it won't connect to my Wi-Fi no matter what I do. If anybody has tips, because I've tried using like 3 different Ethernet cables, tried hooking it up to Wi-Fi, I've tried doing everything. If you have tips on how to fix that, please let me know, because I would love to get my Okoye and 2 Killmonger showcase out for you guys. Because I made Okoye and 2 different Killmongers, because I made the suit that he's like the Black Panther suit, and I made his suit that's not a Black Panther suit. like the armor that he has. But yeah, so I think that's it, guys. You can like this video, or if you didn't like it, dislike, I don't really care. And let me know what you thought of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in the comments below. If you liked it, didn't like it, if you agree with me on everything I made, or everything I said about this movie, if you disagree with everything that I said, let me know, because I would really like to know what you guys thought of this movie. But yeah. So, I think that's it. And I'll see you guys later. I just got another notification. I apologize. And yeah. So, I will see you guys later. Alright.